His name is Peek. He likes to peek with Renna. Then I showed up.
Unimportant.
This account was literally a Mortal 1 yesterday. I fucking, like I said, I just played some like
Cover going out. Removed.
Hey, what's up guys? Before I get into this video, I just want to give a huge shout out to Sam Fergan for becoming a member here on my YouTube channel. I appreciate it, man. It means a lot. I know you've been in the stream pretty much every single day that I stream, so like I said, I really appreciate it, man. But today's video, I want to talk about lurking and, more importantly, how to lurk effectively in Valorant, and when you should actually lurk and when you should play with your team. I had this background gameplay that you're seeing right now, and this is me playing Omen on Ascent, and this is the first 8 rounds of our offensive half, and I was 15-0 at round 8-0. I think I ended the game like 20-6 or something. After that 8th round, I started playing a little worse because they caught on to exactly how I was playing, but I was able to lurk really, really well, and I pretty much, the only round that I ever played with my team this entire game was this very first initial pistol round, but every single round after that, I was just kind of chilling back. My team was doing a really good job playing together and pushing sites together, but for the most part, I was just kind of chilling, doing my own thing. I spent the majority of the time either just sitting in top mid or kind of pushing up, putting a little bit of pressure on A main, but almost the entire game, I made absolutely no noise, and luckily my shot was on, and so I was able to go 15-0, no problem. Now, I believe like 4 of my kills, excuse me, 4 of my kills were like peeking mid right off the start of the round, which is a whole nother thing that I could talk about in a completely separate video, how to actually properly peek mid and stuff like that. It's honestly a lot more in-depth than you might think, because there are a lot of things that go into play, you know, which teams are putting smokes in mid, and this goes for any map, but which teams are putting smokes in mid, if the other team has op, if your team has op, you know, peeking properly. I mean, there's a lot that goes into that, but I was doing really well. I'm pretty sure I never lost a gunfight in mid up until like the end of the first half. I think I lost 1 gunfight in mid, but I one-tapped the Reyna, I believe 3 times, maybe 4 times throughout this game. It was pretty nutty. But in any case, going back to the whole lurking thing, I kind of got off track there. When you lurk, there are a lot of things that you need to do if you are going to lurk. Number 1, you have to play the right agent. All right, right off the bat, if you are Sage, you should never be lurking. If you are really a duelist in general, occasionally you could get away with a duelist doing a little bit of lurking and flanking if it's like Jet or someone like that who can get out of really crappy situations. If you already have another duelist on your team that's, you know, like a Reyna or someone pushing with the team into sight. But overall, lurking is something that's really dangerous, and you'll often hear in competitive games, you know, when you hop in solo queue, people will get mad at their teammates because their teammates are lurking. And don't get me wrong, if you have 3 people on your team lurking and you know, 2 people pushing together, and it's more of like a default setup, then you can run into a lot of issues, because when you're lurking, you have to be winning your gunfights. Most of the time, you're going to be going into 1-on-1, if not 1-on-2 gunfights, and there is no one there to help you. So number 1, you have to play very, very slow. You don't ever want to get into a gunfight where the other person is holding the angle on you, which is why this entire game you never see me just like full-fledged push into a site when I'm lurking. The only time I push into a site is when I know that the other team has either rotated to the other site, or I know that that particular part of site is clear. You don't want to die as a lurker. Because when you are lurking, your sole job is to catch the enemies off guard and force them to keep certain people from rotating over. and then of course killing them on their rotate over if you can. But when you are lurking, you are best off playing an agent like Omen, in my opinion, because Omen can both lurk and help his team at the exact same time, because he has 2 smokes that can be thrown. Well, I'm infinite amount of smokes throughout the round, but he has smokes that can be thrown from pretty much anywhere on the map. There is a little bit of a range on it, but for the most part, you could be in A site and you can smoke for your team in B site, no problem. Especially if you're lurking towards mid, there is not a single spot that you can't smoke on the map, for the most part, that would need smoked. On top of that, he also has his ultimate ability. So if he does, has his ultimate ability and he needs to go and help his team very quickly, he can, just immediately ult over. You see me do that in one of these rounds. I believe it's like a 3v2, and my team's planning on B site. I'm still sitting in mid, so I just immediately teleport over to B site to help them out. So overall, Cypher, Killjoy could be used potentially as lurking agents, but your best bet is usually going to be Omen, just because he can both help his team lurking and help his team on site with his smokes and stuff like that. Someone like Sage, someone like a Duelist, even someone like Brimstone, who's another smoke agent, he has to be close to put his smokes down. He has to be close to use his ultimate. He has to be close to use his molly, unless you have some crazy molly lineups. So overall, playing as a team is almost always the better scenario. You're almost always going to do better playing as a team, because you can trade off of each other, and as long as you are not just running in blind and you are using your utility properly as a team, it can work out 10 times better than if you're just kind of lurking around doing your own thing. However, you can gain a lot of added benefit from having one person, and I do mean one person, on your team lurking. Sometimes you want to do a split where you have 3 people pushing a site and 2 pushing the other. That, again, that's a whole, I could probably make a video all just about the tactics that can be used in a game like Valorant or CSGO or Siege or any game like that, because in all honesty, the tactics stay the same inside of competitive FPS shooters, no matter what game it is. But when it comes to lurking, you want to play really passive. You want to keep the other team on their toes, and you pretty much, for the most part, want to shift walk everywhere you go. This gameplay is probably not the most riveting and exciting gameplay in the world, because you see me pretty much just shift walking my entire way through, and you even see on one round that I believe is already passed, where the Jet, I hear the Jet pull out her knives and throw a smoke in A lobby, and I literally just sit in our spawn for a good 30 seconds, 45 seconds, just waiting to see if she pushes, because I don't want to enter that gunfight and then we lose our lurking agent. But I also am holding my teammate's flank to make sure that she doesn't come top mid and kill anyone on her own flank. So, I mean, it's not the most exciting gameplay to watch. I mean, it is nice that it's a 15-0 gameplay, and I do get quite a few one-taps and really nice kills throughout it. But for the most part, there's a lot of just kind of shift walking along, just kind of shift walking into A main, shift walking through A site. You see another time where Omen knows that I am on A site, and he flashes me, and instead of trying to re-engage into that gunfight, I just go and hide, because I'm lurking, right? My team is already on B site, and I'm just trying to delay the Omen as long as I can, and I'm trying to have him call out to his teammates, hey, one's on A site, one Jin A site, just to confuse the hell out of the enemy team. And that's part of why lurking can be so powerful. But just to point out, if I then die, right, if Omen calls out, hey, there's a dude Jin on A site, and then he immediately kills me because I try to challenge that gunfight, and I end up losing that gunfight, which will happen. You will lose gunfights here and there. Then all of a sudden my lurk is completely useless. They can take all their people off A site and go fully attack my teammates on B site. But because I sat in hell for so long, and we were already planting on the other site, they had to then go and try to retake B site and defuse that spike. So I was able to get a flank on top of my lurk and be able to kill the Omen from behind. And so that's really the moral of the story when it comes to lurking, is not dying. When you are playing with your team, when you are full pushing a site, you have to be ready to die. You have to be ready to be traded out, and you can't be scared to push site. The one thing that I hate seeing when I am playing with my team, which I do the majority of the time, is, you know, when we'll be pushing B site, for instance, and, you know, I'll smoke out site, I'll throw a flash, and I'll run in, and my teammates are still sitting in B main behind me, not pushing in with me. And I'm like, bruh, I'm Omen, like, fucking duelist, come on. Help me push the site. But you see that happen a lot. There's a lot of people get very scared to die in this game, and it's inevitable that, you know, people are scared to lose their gunfights. People don't have the confidence that they need to actually go into gunfights, but you have to have it if you're pushing as a team. If you're lurking, you do have to be scared to die, and you have to play very passive. Now, it's kind of hypocritical of me because throughout this game I was peeking mid almost every single round, but at the same time I was killing their Reyna almost every single round in mid, which was just funny. I was sitting there typing throughout the game at the Reyna, making fun of her for peeking me over and over again and dying over and over again. But in any case, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope that the gameplay wasn't too boring to watch. Like I said, it was a 15-0. If you were actually paying attention, there were some really nice one-taps in there throughout the game. And the pistol round was also kind of funny with my teleport. But in any case, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'd appreciate it if you leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions just in general about playing the game or about lurking, please leave it in the comment section below, and I will try to respond to your comment. And you know, if need be, I can make another video kind of helping when it comes to other things. But I hope you learned something from this video. Y'all take it easy.
I have the spike.
One enemy remaining.
It was
Pizza,
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 wasn't
pizza. Yeah. Yeah.
30 seconds left.
Spike planted.
Yeah.
We got this.